diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog. Shark. Breaking.
Hey there, welcome to episode 46 of the T40's podcast. You're here with me, Ryan.
I'm Benson.
I'm Alex, I still have bronchitis.
And I'm Michael, and I don't.
That's great. We got a good show for you today. We're going to do some emails, do some voicemails.
Do we?
Beer of the week. Alex is going to talk about gun laws.
Yeah, as requested.
As
Good
requested,
request.
yeah. It's been a
I
couple
got 3
weeks.
pages here.
That's a lot of gun law info.
Yeah.
Well, I can go through it in like 10
Mike's going to
minutes.
talk about season finales.
Series finales. It's called.
Sorry,
Yeah,
series
so
finales.
series finales.
Not going to hear anything about St. Elsewhere.
Nah, I could throw in a mention.
Then we're going to talk about movies probably, and then our top 5.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about movies.
So again, if you ever want to contact us, you send an email to podcast at tipping40s.com or call in at 218-666-8407 and leave us a voicemail. We got some emails this week, a couple, if I can find them in here real quick.
Didn't have them pulled up already.
Yeah, I had them. Shut up. Brady asked, Ryan, since I lived in Minnesota, have I ever been to North Dakota? Yes, once, and it was in the middle of nowhere in the Badlands. There was nothing there.
So you mean it was North Dakota?
Yeah.
My dad lived there
You
for
see
2
Mount Rushmore?
years.
Or is that South
That's
Dakota?
South Dakota.
He has
Yes,
not
I
been
did.
back since.
He also
Why
asked...
did he live there?
He was in Minot for the Air Force.
I see.
And it's fucking cold
Is he
there.
like stationed or?
Stationed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He also asked, could you guys please watch and talk about the Tim and Eric $1 billion movie? We've been meaning to see this for months now.
It's
and
been months, yeah, and we still haven't seen it, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we want to watch it.
We'll get around to it.
Okay, Space Dude emailed saying, thanks to you guys. I looked up Thomas Kincaid. I've never heard of him before. My first thought was, what the fuck is that? That's pretty average.
Shocked you've never heard of him
Yeah.
before. This guy.
I just never...
You know what the great thing is? Everyone knows his art. Just doesn't know
everyone's
him.
seen
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know him actually, but when I looked at the art, I'm like, oh, it's this fucking
That
guy.
asshole
Yeah.
usually puts his name like in stupid font underneath this, like Thomas Kincaid signature.
Well, that seems like a company name, not himself. Though.
Yeah,
We
Thomas
lost
Kincaid TN.
We lost a hero.
Yeah. And then we also got an email from no reply at iTunes.com saying that our podcast is up.
Finally.
Yeah, so it should be on iTunes someplace.
I actually submitted it weeks ago, and what
Yeah.
happened was it said it was submitted, but I didn't receive any confirmation email, but I didn't know you were supposed to. It was just like, it's submitted. I'm like, okay.
It was in
Didn't
like
hear anything.
iTunes purgatory.
So I went back and submitted it again after I hadn't heard anything, and it was literally a minute later I got a confirmation email, which means that the first time it just said it did it and didn't at all. Good work, iTunes.
Yeah, but it should be up there, so look for it in the shitty podcast section. That's where we are.
Shitty podcast.
Shitty. Just look up shitty. But yeah, and send it to your friends now. You actually have an ability to do that now. It's not as hard.
Shitty's probably a strong SEO keyword because people don't say that about their own podcast. You go, this is shitty.
True.
And people will look it up, be like, that's what's going to come up.
Nice. So we have a voicemail, I think?
We have one voicemail, yes.
And it's a little long.
And it's too long.
30
Guys.
seconds, guys.
Come on.
Hey, Tipping 40s. This is Train Guy or Neo Train Guy or whatever my nickname is.
I don't know what your name is.
You guys were talking about Tim Burton movies, most specifically Edward Scissorhands, like how everybody says they like that movie or whatever. And I love that movie, not because it was a good movie, but like when I watched it, I was younger and always laughed. There's 2 parts of that movie I always laughed at. And one was like when he tackles the kid and he's cutting up his face.
I forgot
I
about
thought that was
part.
hilarious, but it's fucked up. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's funny.
And the other one is where he's on that game show or talk show or something, and he got electrocuted.
So you're a psycho.
And the guy says, I give my left nut to see that again. I always thought that I like that movie because of that shit, but I didn't particularly think it was a great movie or anything. Anyway, that's all I got.
So me and Mike saw a movie yesterday, and there were 2 trailers for Tim Burton movies, and I wanted to kill myself.
Two. And so-
Frankenweenie.
Oh, dude, that looked awful. I didn't know that movie existed. That looked horrible.
And Johnny Depp is a vampire in present time.
Yeah,
or something
actually,
like that.
that's Edward Scissorhands too.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the sequel to Edward Scissorhands, watch Deadly Shadows. It will be out in May. and you can waste your money on that.
I also
shit.
find it funny the caller said that he would give his left nut to see it again. Well, it's like worth like what $3.99 in a Walmart bargain bin.
I
So.
think the guy in the movie when he got electrocuted said, "I'll give my left nut."
Oh,
See,
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't want to watch that movie. So
I won't.
Maybe
watch
I
the movie,
misinterpreted what he was. I don't know. Whatever.
What was funny is that people thought Johnny Depp was sexy in that movie. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these scissor hands?
These are just people who listen to too much Cure or something. Like, hey,
Yeah, they really
look
dig
at his
Robert
hair.
Smith.
He's sweet.
okay. Moving on. All right, we got our beer of the week. I'm going to say this wrong for all you German listeners, but it's Weihenstephaner Corbinian. There we go. I think I got
You
it.
asked me how to do
Corban.
it. I
It's
didn't
actually-
even come
it's
close to
actually
what I told
those
you.
three words. The whole name is Corbiani.
which one's that?
It's Weihenstephaner. It's a Doppelbock. It's pretty good. It's malty. It has kind of a
What color is that one?
what? It's the one with the bear on the front.
Oh,
How much alcohol?
It's a 7.4%. It's pretty malty. It kind of has like a chocolatey.
it's like the worst one.
What?
It's like their worst one.
No, it isn't.
That
It's
is.
pretty tasty.
Their other ones are better.
Well, yeah, but
That's what I'm not saying. It sucks.
Is that
I'm saying
the definition of worse?
So it's like the Ringo Starr of the Beatles.
it's still good. But it's
like,
not.
well,
the
I don't
best.
hate them, but come on.
But yeah, it's a Doppelbock, so you're gonna have to like malt. It's pretty. It has a decent body to it. It has. I gotta say like almost a raisin taste to it.
Yeah, it does. It's got like a little plummy
Yeah,
plum.
but it's good.
weirdness
It's a
to
good
it.
beer. I like it. So
Kind of like how those Eastern European beers a lot of times have those weird plum flavors. Like, yeah.
I don't know. I like. I don't like
works
it as
if
much
it's-
as like.
It works if it's done correctly.
Yeah, if it's not too
sometimes
sweet.
sometimes it's.
I gotta say, Optimator is probably a better Doppelbock, but I'll drink this one in a pinch. So
in a pinch.
in a pinch.
I'll do that.
You'll drink turpentine.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's just a bit revealing here, but
Actually, not him. You.
Oh yeah, I'm
Mike will drink anything at all.
yeah. So moving
equal
on.
opportunity employers over here.
Moving on. I guess Alex, you got some gun laws to talk about.
Oh, we're already going to me?
Yeah.
That was quick.
This is quick here.
What's going on?
Tell me
You wanna
about
talk
guns.
beer? Well, guns. So you aim
Beer
them,
and guns.
you aim them at people and you shoot at them.
No, they're for recreation. I shoot little clay shooter things in the air.
And
Yeah, have
Bin
you heard
Laden
the Pearl
targets.
Jam song? Jeez.
Yeah, have you ever seen that show Top Shot where they shoot wood blocks?
So guys, what's your favorite gun video game? Like, Virtual Cop and Duck Hunt style.
Favorite.
Lost
like a light
World
gun
in the
game.
arcade.
Okay,
Best light gun.
Jurassic Park, Lost World. in the
I'm
arcade.
not going to pick the best one, but I'm going to pick a very good one that people don't know. Gotcha for the NES. It was a paintball game.
Gotcha.
And it had capture the flag. And here's the fucked up thing: you had to basically you had to control it with your foot, right? You had to
Yeah.
move. You just had to move left or right. So you just hit with your left. I don't know who thought of this control scheme, but it actually worked. And then you would go left and right, and then you shoot at the screen.
Well,
but you have to
like-
shoot the flag and stuff.
Mike, you're making a mistake though because you didn't say Vampire Night.
Dude, Vampire Night is amazing.
It's so funny.
I was gonna say Fugitive Hunter War on Terror.
no,
That's not
that's
a
a first person
shooter, though.
shooter.
Yeah, it's a video game.
That's
with
not a
guns.
light gun. He's talking about light
Oh,
gun.
light
game.
gun.
Yeah, that's why I said Lost World in the arcade, Jurassic Park. That was awesome.
With seriousness and not as a joke, I think the funnest one in arcade is Time Crisis.
Yeah, Time Crisis.
Yeah,
Time Crisis
Time
is
Crisis
so fucking
2
fun.
is awesome.
I don't know. There's a spot in my heart for Area
4,
51.
they're all good.
You guys ever play that game, LA Machine Guns?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
It's like
too
the
easy.
huge vibrating. Yeah.
This has nothing to do with gun laws.
Okay, gun laws. Back to guns and
So
stuff.
guns are awesome. That's what
what we're saying. Especially
I
when
had
they're
fun with
made of
those
pla-
games. They have guns. Guns are awesome.
When they're made of plastic, they're great.
So you guys want to teach me on gun laws, so here it is. I'm going to teach you about gun laws.
They're pretty dumb.
I'm going to try and cover as much federal gun laws as I can, but I'm also
There
going
are
to cover
federal ones?
Yeah, I'm also going to cover 3 different state gun laws because the states pretty much decide whatever the fuck they want anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And every state varies so much from each other that I picked. The 3 ones I picked are Arizona, California, and Illinois because Arizona is so lax, California is kind of strict, and Illinois is very strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, let's talk about some federal laws. There's obviously the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. I'm not going to talk about that because everyone knows
Unless
about
you're
that.
Muslim.
So, well, they shouldn't be here anyway. So,
I see you in your halal place while I'm spying on you.
so as a federal law, though, here is a list of persons who cannot own firearms as a federal law. So, states decide whatever the fuck they want, anyways. Those convicted of felonies and certain misdemeanors, except with state law, reinstates rights. Blah blah. Fugitives from justice. Oh, they can't bear firearms? Damn, really?
So Harrison Ford,
Yeah, I was going to say
Harrison
that.
Ford should not have a gun.
Should not.
So fugitives from justice are allowed to be fugitives as long as they don't have a gun.
Yeah,
What the fuck does that mean?
No, it's stupid.
Unlawful users of certain depressant, narcotic, and stimulant drugs. Okay. Those adjusted as
Interesting.
mental defective, so crazy people. Non-U.S. citizens.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Unless permanently
Yeah, I didn't know
immigrating into the U.S. or in possession of a hunting license legally issued in the U.S.
So even if someone doesn't have if they have a visa or something, they're not allowed to own
Unless
a
they're
gun.
going to be
How fucking
permanently
easy it is to
immigrating
get a
here.
hunting license, though.
I know.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
like-
easy.
so
That's
yeah.
true.
No.
Illegal aliens. Okay.
Yeah.
Those who have renounced U.S. citizenship.
So expats can't have guns, I guess.
Yeah.
Minors under the age of 18, except in Vermont, where it's under the age of 16. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Persons under indictment for a crime punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. Also, if you're only going to go in for 8 months, it's okay.
Perfectly fine then.
So all the laws are less than a year.
Yeah. So there's also this thing called the National Firearm Act, which is pretty much there to define certain types of weapons, and the states can allow to choose whether to allow those weapons or not. So here's a list of those weapons in this thing, in the National Firearm
These are the
Act.
categories.
It's
Wait,
amazing.
these are
Machine
what?
guns. No, these
Guns
are
that you're not allowed to have.
no. The states decide whether to use this act or not.
Oh, it's state. Okay,
But
got it.
most of them don't. Because
So these are the groupings of the different types of weapons.
no, this is just in this act. These are like crazy weapons. Not
Oh.
each state. I'll cover assault weapons and handguns and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
this is like the ridiculous shit. So this is machine guns. So yeah, war weapons.
Well, that
Short-barreled rifles. I guess those are in there because you can fit them in your saggy pants or something.
Yeah,
I
you'd
don't
be like
know.
Omar.
Short-barrel shotguns. So sawed-off shotguns.
Yeah.
Silencers. Yeah, you don't really need those. Unless
Go to your hunting.
I know.
Scare you off.
Destructive devices, and then in parentheses they have grenades, bombs, missiles, poison gas, etc.
How are grenades?
Etc.
Not this poison gas grenade.
These don't fall in
shrapnel
the
in
same
it?
category as guns. What the fuck?
Poison
Nothing to
gas,
do with-
etc.
Firearms, though.
No, they're grenades are firearms.
Firearm.
And here's
Arms?
the federal law on firearms between individuals, which this gets kind of ridiculous in some states. So the federal laws allows the sale of a long gun or a handgun, as they say, between private parties of the same state, as long as the purchaser is 18 years or older. An individual who does not possess a federal firearms license may not sell a modern firearm to a resident of another state. So if you're in the same state, you don't need the license, though. But
Yeah.
if you're not, then
you don't need a license in some states to own at all. So
That kind
No,
of
this is to sell.
this
that,
to be a
that
federal,
makes
yes.
sense though because of the fact that
Interstate.
state gun laws can be different.
No, I'm just saying that seems kind of ridiculous that you just, you want to buy my gun.
Is this
Yeah.
talking about is this supposed to be like a
seems like it'd be
registered seller,
required.
or is this like a private person just selling like me for
It's,
you a gun?
the registered sellers have
Okay.
that.
So, like,
I'm
owns a
guessing-
store.
Yeah, well, they have gun shows here, and I don't
Yeah.
think those guys are. So
Well,
actually, some of them
are,
probably are because they have
but
their
yeah.
own stores too. But because gun shows are pretty big here. But also, you can't ship firearms without a federal firearms license. Obviously,
Yeah, you need to.
You can mail firearms though to like get repairs or something like that if you don't have one. In terms of federal laws for carrying weapons, the only thing that comes into play is that Gun-Free School Zone Act. So no guns in school zones. Every state has their own carry laws, so I'll talk about that. So now on to the state laws. So like I said, I'm going to talk about 3 states: Arizona, California, and Illinois in that order. So I have a map. That's some picture I found online of the U.S., which shows every state and whether they have a shall issue, may issue, or completely deny issue of concealed weapons. So most of them are shall issue, which means you can get one pretty much.
Yeah, if you go
long
take a
as you're
class
not
and fill out a
crazy and
form
everything.
and they do a background check, they can
May
a
issue
concealed
means
carry
they can
form.
deny you for whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
Deny means you can't get one, which is only 2 states, which is, well, 1 state, Illinois and D.C., of course. So
Yeah.
D.C.'s crazy. So the ones that are may issue are like California and, well, the coloring didn't turn out too well because this is in black and white, but mainly East Coast states like New York and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. So first, let's talk about Arizona.
Arizona has some of the laxest gun state laws in the entire union.
Arizona is a shall issue state. I hate saying those 2 words together, which means you can get a concealed weapon license if you want. But
You don't need to have one.
Arizona just recently passed a law allowing you to conceal a weapon without a concealed carry weapons permit. So
So
You don't need to
Why
have
even
one.
fucking have them?
Well, the reason
What's
they
the
have
point?
The reason to have one is because when you buy a firearm in the state of Arizona, you have to do a thorough background check before you buy it. If you buy it from a retailer,
But if you have
the concealed carry card, you've already done the background check. So you just show it to the gun owner, and they don't need to do any of that. So
I'm sure that can't be.
And then you put it in your pocket.
Fraudulent.
It's a paperwork thing, but yeah,
People
it's
who
done.
buy lots of guns.
Yeah.
So these are
Convenience.
when I was looking at other states, the Arizona laws show like where you're allowed to discharge your weapons. The other states didn't show that at all because you pretty much just aren't allowed to go out and just do whatever you want.
Arizona's pretty crazy.
The Arizona one has on here. So places you're allowed to discharge your firearms in Arizona on a properly supervised range, of course.
That makes sense.
In an area recommended as a hunting area by Arizona Game and Fish.
Sure.
Okay.
For the control of nuisance wildlife by permit of Arizona. So if this animal needs to die, you can go shoot them.
Sure.
You gotta get a permit
Into
first.
a saguaro cactus.
Yeah.
Damn javelinas are giving me
Shooting
shit.
a saguaro cactus or like taking one down is very, very bad.
Is that like
Yeah.
a high-class misdemeanor?
It's
Yes.
it's worse than shooting a person, pretty much.
Yeah, it is.
Because they're worth a lot of money. So,
Wow.
The people here are.
now
so.
by special
Mostly
permit
Mexican.
by special permit of the chief of police, okay, as required by an animal control officer in the performance of duties,
Okay.
Okay, that makes
okay,
sense.
firing blank cartridges.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Really?
You just go fire blank cartridges
I
all
can
you
get
want.
You
blank-
know those fail sometimes.
And you can just go outside our apartment and do it right now if you want.
Well, you get disturbing the peace, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes,
So-
Where's Brandon Lee?
technically, that would be a minor infraction. You could just go and shoot blanks in the air and just chase people shooting blanks. Yeah, like Yosemite Sam. And they all they could give you is like disturbing the peace and threatening people and stuff.
But the best one
Is this called the Brandon Lee Law?
I was thinking Brandon Lee too.
But the
for him.
best one is more than 1 mile from any occupied structure. So that's
I've
great
actually,
about Arizona. You can just go wherever you
I've
want.
actually done that with a friend of mine. We went
Oh,
basically drove into the middle of the desert, found the backstop,
That's what they
and
do
shot
here.
at stuff. Yeah.
I gotta say, there are a lot of areas in this city that have houses, and for miles there's no one occupying them. Would that count? Because there's no municipality.
It says
There's
within
big
buildings.
Well,
roads.
first of all, retards, they're going to go skeet shooting. That's buckshot, so it doesn't matter how far. If you're a mile away, it's not going to do anything. But some people will shoot fucking pistols and handguns at that shit,
Yeah.
which is
They're
retarded.
supposed to be responsible. They have a lot of leeway on this and assuming that the person firing the gun knows what they're doing.
Which is almost never.
Yeah.
That's a bad assumption.
Yes.
It's like giving someone a fast car and saying, drive slow.
And the last, one of the last ones, in self-defense or defense of another person against an animal attack, if a reasonable person would believe deadly physical force against the animal is immediately necessary and reasonable under the circumstances.
So
to protect
that's
the
the-
person.
that's-
The animal's Hispanic.
No, that's the it's coming right for us law.
Yeah. Stand your ground.
That
that's
rhino's
different.
coming right for us. I mean, I'm behind a cage at the zoo, but you never know.
That monkey threw poop at me.
And another one.
Getting shot at the zoo.
I like how that one's so long about animals, and this one's about humans. In self-defense or in defense of another person against a criminal attack as permitted by the laws
That's
regarding
standard
defensive
ground.
use of force.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Well,
exactly.
the Arizona does not have a standing ground, but it does have a castle defense, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Castle
slightly
doctrine.
different, and I'm sure we'll get emails explaining the difference. But
No, that'd actually be helpful.
yeah, well, the difference is a stand your ground is basically if you feel you're under threat anywhere, whereas castle defense more is if you're in your home.
I guess.
So, continuing on.
Okay, so also for Arizona, no assault weapons laws, which means you can own an AK or an AR-15 here.
Yeah, sure. That's
You need to have
totally
the
reasonable.
you need to have the stamp tax. You need to pay a lot of money and get another background check, basically.
Cool.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not hard
It's just
though.
money.
It also applies so you can get the same thing for silencers in Arizona,
Are you Muslim? No. Here it is.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Have you committed a felony? No.
Do you plan on
Are
killing
you a US
Do you plan on
citizen?
killing a
Yes,
Muslim?
okay.
Yes. Here it is.
Maybe.
Do it quiet.
I agree. Like, I'm pretty open with gun laws. I think that it should.
too.
I think that it should be up to the buyer to be responsible for themselves, and if they can't do so, then they should not be allowed to have a gun. And honestly, they probably shouldn't even be walking the street because you have to be an idiot to shoot a gun around randomly. But there's no reason for anyone to have like an assault rifle here. That doesn't. What purpose does that serve?
You gotta protect your
wagging.
house. Yeah, it's mainly that.
Yeah, you would not want to protect your house with an assault
for dick
rifle.
wagging.
EP and
You would shoot everyone but the criminal. You'd be like, oh, I shot my wife, my kids, dog.
Well, the steel core
Criminal
rounds
not
go
so
through like
much.
10 fucking feet of
Yeah.
drywall. So yeah.
So yeah, that's for Arizona. Most places you can't have assault weapons, but whatever.
Yeah, Arizona has some weird. One of the most shocking things. I came from I grew up in Connecticut, Minnesota, which has pretty not conservative, but pretty strict gun laws
Yeah.
in terms. I remember coming down here to Arizona for college, and one of the first things I saw, like the first week I was out here, I went to a Wendy's.
Yeah, I was with you.
And Alex was with me. And I remember just seeing these like 3 or 4 guys that all have revolvers just on their hips. It was like not police or anything, just like these normal dudes just walking around open carrying, which is legal here. And I was just like, it was a culture shock thing to me. I've also seen people driving on the highways with shotguns.
Did they have cowboy
Yeah.
hats on?
No.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them had a cowboy hat on.
Not surprised.
All right, so
So yeah, if you want to shoot guns, come to Arizona.
another one is, I talked about those NFA weapons, which is like bombs and poison gas. Yeah, those are banned here except when permitted by federal law. Which
You can buy, if you have the stamp tax, you can buy smoke grenades here.
Yeah, it's probably not under that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke grenades makes sense. Poison gas, no.
Yeah, I don't know. About that.
Yeah, poison gas.
So,
But it's my right to have poison gas.
so I realized I forgot to
It's
look.
pretty easy to get poison gas.
One of the questions someone was asking is, since certain states have more lax laws and some have more strict, what are the outcome of, the crime and stuff like that,
Yeah.
murder rate and stuff. I forgot to look that up, so I'll look that up next week.
I think it's kind of funny because
what the deal is.
there's people that go like, no, you have to protect assault rifles. Like, that's bullshit. People should be allowed to own them. It's like, okay, but what about hand grenades? Well, no, not those. It's like, what? Where's this line? It's so arbitrary.
the
It's a
thing.
fucking arbitrary.
It's completely
line.
arbitrary, and
Yeah.
it's hard, and that's why a lot of states choose different areas. Like California, the line's very low. Like some handguns are outlawed there.
I was wondering why isn't the NRA like just going for the gusto and be like, I want a fucking 50 cal on my top of my car. I want a 50 caliber weapon
The
on
other
top of my
thing is
truck.
that, like, an assault rifle or something, if it's for self-protection, that's actually less effective for self-protection
Oh, yeah.
because the ability to quickly draw and shoot an assault rifle is far less than a pistol.
Also,
I don't understand.
It's way overkill in the force necessary to defend yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
like, unless you're defending yourself against a platoon of SWAT people, it's really not necessary.
Well, hey, man, you never know.
Also, I knew someone who worked for a pawn shop, and they would trade AKs all the time with basically illegals.
Yeah.
And when you have guns that are illegal, even if they aren't supposed to be sold to illegal immigrants, you have all these guns in the market for them to buy.
Yeah.
So you made them much more violent by having all these guns in the market.
Right.
So it's a consequence of having it.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm fine with Arizona's laws. I don't know, it just doesn't...
It's very low on things I care
Well,
about.
Arizona's also, you have to remember the
Yeah,
culture
there
here.
are bigger problems.
The culture here is very Wild West kind of
Stupid.
rancher. It's stupid,
It's
yes.
fucking dumb.
But like, it's a big part of the culture here. A lot of people feel
It's weird because a lot of the states that have super strict laws have really huge, large cities like, L.A., Chicago, New
Yeah.
York. But Phoenix is like 5th largest city, and they don't have those laws.
Well, the
And they have a
it's
horrible
weird.
crime rate. So
well, it's
there
the
you
fifth
go.
largest
all
city
do.
within the past
So,
50 years. It
no,
never
it's
used to be
worse.
this big. But moving on, let's see some
All
California
right, so
laws.
California,
They got some
assault
great-
weapons are banned.
Okay.
All those NFA weapons are banned, of course.
This makes sense.
California had a lot of problems with kids accidentally killing themselves, so you're required to lock your gun in some sort of case or something like that.
Bullshit.
If you have a child in the house,
That's a law.
Kids should learn how to be responsible with it right out of the womb.
when purchasing a weapon, you fill out an application that is sent to the California Department of Justice to perform a background check, and there's a 10-day waiting period.
Yeah, they have waiting period laws. Is this for strictly purchasing from stores, or is it from private citizen?
That is for purchasing from stores.
Okay.
One sec. California is a may issue state, which means concealed carry, meaning they can just deny whoever the fuck they want to deny and just say, nope, you can't have one. If they feel like it, they'll go do your background check.
Do you know the open carry laws there?
There are no open carry laws.
Okay.
Not allowed to open carry at all. Except in some like certain counties or something like that, like probably northern, like Woods, California, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, so anyone also concealed carry permits from other states do not carry over to California. So anyone from Arizona concealing a weapon, don't drive into California with a concealed. So
Yeah.
or
they'll bust-
even open.
Yeah, they'll
because-
bust you with that.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
I
That
forgot what
sucks.
I remember. Like Arizona's concealed carry does carry over to some other states, but I
You
forgot which
can-
ones they are.
They would still allow you to carry it in a case with
If it's in a locked
Yeah.
case in like the trunk
Yeah.
or something of your car,
it would
yeah.
be fine, but they don't want you carrying it on your hip or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
That just sucks because that knowledge isn't like real
Yeah, well,
known.
again, they expect the handgun owner to know the laws for the certain states they're going in.
They don't know who the president is.
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly.
I mean, if it was,
No, they know he's a
If
Muslim.
it's in a case and not loaded, the cops wouldn't fucking care at all. They'd be like, oh, okay, you're fine. I mean, do you have a permit for this gun or whatever? Fine.
Yeah.
You can have it. So
They should just base all the gun laws on whether El Mariachi would get arrested or not. It's just like, can he carry this gun in his guitar case or not?
I didn't see anything on I didn't read anything on California from certain individuals selling to other individuals, but I don't think it's
I don't think they
like it
have
is
those.
here. I don't think
Yeah.
you're even allowed to.
When we're done with all this, I got to tell some
variant, so.
stories about the gun shows I've been to because they're pretty.
Gun shows are funny.
So now on to Illinois. So I haven't written a whole lot about Illinois because they don't allow much at all. So in Illinois, concealed carry licenses are never issued at all, and open carry is also prohibited. Illinois is the only state that completely bans concealed carry. So, and DC is not a state, so that's why it's Illinois.
Yeah,
Right. DC had
DC's
some
crazy.
handgun law changes recently in the past year or so with the Supreme Court
they're
case.
very liberal though with that. Like they don't. Yeah.
And in Illinois, you can only
Politically liberal.
carry guns around, transfer them anywhere in a case while they're unloaded.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't even if the cases they're loaded. Nope, too bad.
So when can you actually use a gun?
That's what I was gonna say. In there, so
Firing.
if you're in your own personal home or something like that, you can have it loaded in your own personal home in Illinois,
Yeah.
but you can't take it outside at all if it's loaded or not in the case.
Right, so it's basically just for defense of your home.
So do they allow hunting in this state? I'm just confused.
Do they? I don't know.
I've never heard of hunting in Illinois.
I don't
Southern
know.
Illinois, there's things you could hunt in Southern Illinois.
Yeah, so to possess a firearm there, you have to get a firearm owner's identification card, which is bizarre.
I have
Issued
no
by the
idea.
police.
I'm assuming if it's your own land, you could probably discharge on your own land in Illinois.
No one owns any land.
No.
No, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing I was talking about discharging weapons in certain areas, like in Arizona. I mean, all these rural areas, there's probably laws against it, and they allow it. Who fucking cares?
I know nothing about Illinois, so.
That sounds a little too extreme to me, and I think that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, if you can't carry it in a case loaded, or I mean, you have to unload it and in the case at the same time. And
Well, to be
is.
honest,
Isn't that
though,
kind of unconstitutional though? Like I just feel like right to bear arms. Like, well, if you can't have the fucking thing loaded or really even use it, is it even?
well, to be fair,
it
you
even
should be
a gun in
transporting.
there?
You should be transporting your gun unloaded anyway.
Well, yes.
I mean,
But where are you going to transport it to?
well,
You can't
that
take it
depends
anywhere.
if you want to have it concealed with you at all times or on your hip or whatever.
well, yeah, but Illinois
you
bans
want it loaded
concealment.
at that
Yeah, but it
point.
bans concealment,
Yeah.
so you can't do it anyway.
Well, I think the problem, too, is that the Second Amendment is a very, very archaic, outdated
super archaic.
amendment because it's so vague. Yes.
Yeah, it's
because
vague.
the original intention of the Second Amendment was
to
that
keep militias
people,
from Britain, basically.
yes, it's that people can bear arms to
in case there's a war.
Yes, to defend themselves against one outside influence of the country, and also in case of some kind of uprising or something. It's basically like saying you can defend yourself against the government if they are using force on you. And that was the original intention of the amendment. At this point, that is not the case.
Yeah, it's like
and now we're
200
trying to
something years
use
old.
this
Hey,
thing.
according to Russia, we're going to split up to 6 nations.
Yeah.
Their leading economists think we are, so there could be some stuff coming down.
What
And
nation-
Illinois will not be prepared
What
for
nation
it.
are we
yeah,
going to be?
no one's going to have
They'll
a
be
gun.
fumbling around trying to load their guns, and they'll be shouting.
What nation are we going to be?
Is this Fallout? Because
Yeah.
We'll be the Texas, New Mexico, Utah nation or something like that.
I think they split it up. We were like, California was
be
their
its own.
California was, no one wants to be with California. It's too
And then
big.
Northern California would just go into Washington, Oregon anyway.
No, they won't want them either. I literally think California was by itself. They're like, no one wants you.
So I have some interesting gun show stories. I have a friend who's a big gun nut, and I occasionally went with him to
Stealthily agent.
yeah, stealthily. Yeah, he's a big gun nut, and I went to some gun shows with him. And I originally bought a rifle. It was a Remington 30-06 hunting rifle.
I remember that thing.
Yeah,
I remember the first time you shot it.
yeah, it was pretty great.
3-6s are
got a good
pretty
kick to it.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Anyway, so I bought the gun. I was expecting to put some money into it, and then I realized it was a dumb idea to do this. So I went to a gun show to get rid of it. And basically, I walked around with the gun in its case unloaded, of course. I had a little.
Why don't you tell about how you first bought the gun, too?
Well, I actually haven't heard this story.
No, I'm not talking about that.
He doesn't want to talk about that for legal purposes.
But
Oh.
yeah,
Wow.
but I walked around with the gun show with the gun in his case with a sign on the side saying "for sale" with the gun specs on it. And basically, this guy came up to me and said, "Oh, can I see the gun?" So I showed it to him. He looked at it and he's like, "I bought it," and we just traded cash for it. And that's gun laws in Arizona.
yeah.
It's cool.
If it's traded between two private parties, you can just trade guns for money.
It's just like trading magic cards, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And which is kind of weird because
Actually, I'd rather own a
which is
gun
kind of
than
weird because I
that.
originally
I
bought the
would too.
gun. I originally bought the gun from a store, so they have the gun on record being sold to me. So if you went out and shot someone with it, I probably would have gotten in trouble for it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, even though I sold the gun and I had a witness, but still,
So who here owns a gun?
that would be me.
Yeah, I don't. I have no interest in guns.
I'm going to buy one this year, so.
I enjoy going out and shooting at a range, but not enough to the point where I would purchase a gun. It's not worth the money for me, and I would never use it for self-defense because
Well, I don't either.
I think this makes situations worse.
I think it usually
I should
escalates
clarify.
things.
The gun I have is a 22, a little Ruger Mark.
Yeah, yours is a pea shooter.
Yeah, and I bought it strictly for target shooting because, like I said, my friend goes shooting all the time with these big guns, and he has some crazy fantasy about him protecting himself in his home. But if someone came to my
Yeah.
house, I would go for a baseball bat before I would go
I
for a
know.
gun.
I wouldn't be purchasing it for self-defense either. I mean, I guess if I had to use it, I would, but
Well, but
I like to go range shooting. I would want to buy a shotgun to go skeet shooting because that shit is fucking fun, man.
Yeah, skeet shooting's pretty.
But
fun.
yeah, it's like my gun. It's unloaded in a case in my closet. I mean, I would certainly go for a baseball bat before I go for a gun for home defense. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just
I'll just say, shoot, go on, get.
When I moved to New York
usually
State
works.
when I was 13, there's no hunting really in California. We moved to New York State. There's lots of hunting in
Yeah,
West New
upstate.
York. And I went a few times, and I was like, "This is the fucking most boring thing I could ever." This is worse than fishing. I mean, it's just boring. So I just never got into guns.
You should do archery fishing. You seen that shit?
Dude, that's crazy.
With a rope? I
Yeah.
want to do that.
That's
so
kinda
I'm
awesome.
sure we probably said something wrong, or you may have questions about gun laws. So send them in.
Yeah,
We'll try to
correct us.
clarify.
Yeah, I literally did this an hour ago.
It's pretty informative. Yeah.
Yeah, I just picked 3 states.
Also, I'm sure all of you European listeners are probably appalled by our lax gun laws. So
We're appalled by your smoking.
Yeah, we're also appalled by your higher standard of living.
higher education.
Fuck your transportation and shit.
Yeah, hope you enjoy paying those taxes for your better standard of living.
Anyway, moving on.
What are we even talking about?
Mike, you got to talk about some season finales.
So, I was
Series
thinking.
finale.
Series finale, sorry.
I was thinking about TV series finales. I try to alternate between serious segments and kind of lighthearted segments. And
So next week would be a terrible one.
yeah, it'll be another serious one. Yeah. So I thought about TV series finales, and I was like,
I know.
I remember a lot of bad ones. I don't remember a lot of good ones. And I think the first problem when shows end, usually it's not by their own accord.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing Rules of Engagement with David Spade, and they're like, "Yeah, this show's great." Everyone loves Rules of Engagement with David Spade, and then it just suddenly gets canceled. They're like, "No, dude," but it's been on for years.
Yeah.
Just kind of lingers around in its shitty ratings, and they don't have a chance to even bother to end it. And when they find out, they maybe find out with 3 episodes left. And they already have the scripts written. They're like, "Fuck it." They just dump them out.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Especially in recent years, I think it happens even more because
It happened a lot in the 80s, especially. Or
yeah.
Married with Children's last season. It doesn't even feel like a lot. It's just like,
I think
puts his hand in his crotch.
I think these companies are so focused on trying to get profits that if the show doesn't get profitable after a couple of episodes, there's shit.
Yeah, they make
right
the
there.
decision the last second usually.
Well, the writers are made to just make a show the same thing over and over for 20 minutes every day.
That's
so
a
when they have
very
to
good
think
point.
of something different, that's like, oh, this is the end now?
Yeah, but some
end this?
Well, yeah, some shows though are episodic; they don't care. But other ones actually have a continuation going on, and those are the ones when they get shit canned are the worst because they have to pull shit out of their asses.
Yeah,
Those are the ones that don't last as long.
Yeah,
they try. I will say TV's gotten a little bit better of trying to give them a heads up, like, hey, you guys got 6 episodes left, you're toast. And then they try to close it up. But it's usually not enough time. But anyways, there's a lot of shows, though, that are very successful. They know when they're going to end, right?
yes.
So these are the ones I'm really talking about. And a lot of them have really lame series finales. Frasier, he goes and gets the girl. Friends, goes and gets the girl. Cheers, bar closes. You know, it's either dude moves, store closes, couple gets back together. That's like it. Those are the only thing.
Yeah.
Some catalyst happens at the end. Oh, we were apart for a long time, now we're back together. Those ones are just reprehensible. You're not even fucking trying.
Hey, what about Seinfeld?
I was going to get on that, actually. But then you think about even the really great shows, right? Like Seinfeld. And they knew when they were going to end. They knew 2 seasons ahead of time. We are ending. And all the episodes were great.
They were. Those last 2 seasons were fucking crazy good.
But that last episode is terrible. And I
Those
don't know
last
why.
2.
Well, it's
But
weird
yeah.
because that was the first episode in Seasons that was written by Larry David.
Oh, really?
The last
Okay.
episode was, yes. And he hadn't been involved with the show for a couple of years by that point.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He left the show long before the end of the show.
I never knew
And
that.
he actually wrote the series finale. And funny enough, it sucked, even though a lot of the episodes written by him earlier, like he wrote the
majority
the
of
competition one. What was
Yeah,
that one
the
called?
masturbation one.
Yeah, he wrote
that was a
episode.
great one.
And he wrote that.
He pretty much wrote all
I mean-
the ones about George, I'm guessing. So yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Claire.
George is based directly on himself. So
Did Claire on top of the garbage.
Opposite.
anyway, go
Do you think
on.
he did that to like troll people, or do you think?
No, I think he just tried to write a good finale, and it just
Didn't
sucked. You
It
know,
was
just
too
wasn't
high
good.
concept and weird.
Yeah, yeah.
They did have some clip episodes though on Seinfeld. So
Yeah, they do. They're pretty bad.
Those are terrible.
Another one, I'm not the biggest fan of this show, but it is better than most, and The Sopranos. The ending was totally shit canned. I mean, just loathed by most people. People were really upset with that ending. And I kind of agree. But even a show like The Wire, I just finished watching that. That ending it has good points,
Don't talk about
but
it.
it's too ridiculous.
Don't spoil it for
I'll
him.
say it's too ridiculous.
Okay,
That's it.
fair enough.
So it's interesting that a lot of these all 3 of those shows knew they were ending, and none of them could succeed at creating a good ending. So
how many seasons
even
was The
like-
Wire?
5,
5, yeah.
yeah. And even look at Lost. Lost knew 3 seasons ahead of time. They
Yeah.
knew for a long time, and that ending is reviled.
Lost feels like they made it up as they were making the episode. I
No,
don't
they had it
understand
done.
that.
They had it done like a season and a half before. They had
Yeah.
it written, done. It was in the can. So they chose that shit ending, and they were like, "No, this is gonna be it. God complex, it's gonna be cool." So I tried to think of, why are these bad? You know, what makes these ones bad? What makes these endings bad? These are good shows. They have good characters. Why are they bad? So I'm kind of opening this up.
Well, I think, personally, I feel like a lot of series finales don't have the same feeling as a really good season finale, which is that it closes the chapter, but there's always the
Still more.
opportunity for another
You
chapter.
look forward to more.
Yeah,
whatever
there's
they
still
loose
more-
ends.
You have to
There's still more
resolve
of the story
everything
to
in the
tell.
whole fucking
Yeah.
in the whole series.
I mean, look at the last,
not if you're
last
Sopranos.
season of Breaking Bad. It closed that story, but there's still plenty more to tell about these characters.
The next season's their last season, right?
It is, yes. Those
It's
are splitting.
split.
It
I hope.
they're splitting it into 2
Kind of like Sopranos
half
did.
seasons.
I hope
yeah.
they do a good job ending that one then. 'Cause
Yeah, but I think that whereas a series finale, I mean, they can leave it open in a way, but there still needs to be some kind of closure on the biggest points of the story. And I feel like shows like Friends, where they go, I mean, that's like the easiest ending possible. They're
Couple
just
gets
like
back together.
They're like, yeah, let's just make them get back together because of course they still love each other, and it's like. That's not what people do, really, though. You know, that's not how.
What do you think will
life
happen
works.
on the series finale of The Simpsons?
No one will watch it.
Honestly, I think it will get canceled.
Yeah.
I think that show's just going to get canceled
I
one
think
day.
it might because it's been too long.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get a big send off.
I don't think
they'll just kinda
anything will
tank
happen
it.
if they did it. It'd just be a normal episode.
I
say.
could totally see that.
They've run that shit into the ground too much. That's the problem. I mean, I was a huge Simpsons fan. Back
Mr. Burns dies finally.
We went back a long time ago, me and Alex, and
Yeah.
watched several seasons of The Simpsons.
4,
and
5, and 6.
It literally is one of the funniest shows ever.
Yeah, nothing
made
makes me laugh
during
more than
its-
that show. Holy
during
shit.
during its best time, but you watch it now and it's just like, why is this show still on? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
I don't see how they could end that show, honestly.
No.
Besides blowing up Springfield or Shelbyville, like taking it over or something.
It's just been way too long. They've used the same jokes like 5 times.
Yeah, they have.
It's like, come on.
So, we've said a lot of things why they're bad. You know, I mostly agree with you guys. I think there's just too much to close up. I think also, usually when a show's ending, they've already lost their luster a little bit. If they're getting to close out the show, it's like,
they either got canceled or it's just been on for way too long at that point.
Yeah, and so then they got to close it up, but you're already like, this is kind of on its last legs anyways. I don't
know about that. I mean, Arrested Development's 3rd season, I think, was probably the funniest. And, it just got canceled.
Did they even know?
I'm going to actually disagree with that. I love the 3rd season. I think it's really funny. But I think it suffered the same problem a lot of these shows did, which is that
it tried wrapping stuff up.
Well, no, it has nothing to do with wrapping it up. It's that the 3rd season, they ran out of very simple concepts to use.
It got more
and so it got
crazy.
Insane. The 3rd season is so much crazier than the first 2 seasons. It's not even comparable.
And that's when the Iraq stuff comes in, right?
Yeah, but they've been planning that since like the first season, though.
Among many other things too. But the show ends well, but at the same time, it's like
it feels out of character because like the last 2 episodes are like we got to wrap this all up, and it's not really funny anymore.
Yeah, most of the jokes in that season are closer to the beginning of the season. You're right.
What about remember that show 8 Simple Rules when John Ritter died and they kept the show going?
Yes, they did.
How did that end? They had to end it after that season, right?
I think
they tried to keep it going for the whole season.
Yeah, that was the last season. They still had it go until the end. It's like, I don't even.
That would have been a good ending. Well, he died, so I guess.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I tried to think of good series finales, like they actually closed out a series. I thought of one. I thought of a single one, and it disappoints me to say it was Cowboy Bebop. That is the only last episode where I was like, that is a great last episode.
Yeah, that show does
closes
have a really
it out.
good last episode, actually.
I have no idea.
He wouldn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch anime.
Now, I do have a couple out of left field ones, and you're saying Elsewhere one could have went on this list.
Yeah.
I do love these endings, but there's
I know
critical.
one of them. I must know one of them.
Okay, so one of them is Newhart.
Okay, that one's funny.
Dude, Newhart's great.
That is the biggest
Now, do you know the ending? Okay, so
I don't even know
Well,
the show.
okay, first there was the Bob Newhart show.
Yes.
You have to understand that first. And this is the same relationship that like the show Cosby has with the Cosby Show, which is that it's another show,
With a title
same
character.
guy. They just named it after him instead of the Cosby Show. Now it's just Cosby,
but it's a different,
and it's a completely
reality.
different setting. Even though
It's the same title character,
a lot of the characters are
Like,
pretty much the same.
The Bob Newhart show, he ran a hotel, and
Yes.
Newhart, he was a psychiatrist or a psychologist,
Something
or
like that, yeah.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of Newhart. It's not bad, but I was never like a huge fan. But the last episode of that, he wakes up in the Bob Newhart show. In the old show, he goes, I had the weirdest dream. I had this dream that I was a psychologist, and he's with his first wife, too. And it's basically like...
Well, it doesn't even explain it. He just turns to his wife in bed, and he's like, I had a really weird dream.
Yeah,
That's
That was
actually
it.
pretty
That's the whole-
funny.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
great. The problem is it completely trivializes the entire show.
Well, if
it's
it's saying elsewhere.
Yes.
And
But that's a
Did you guys
drama.
ever get to the end of Twin Peaks? I know they had a movie that was supposed to end it all.
the movie ends it because they didn't actually solve the mystery at the end of the show
Yeah.
because it got canceled. I have never watched the full series, so I don't know. We'll watch it someday. I don't know though.
And the other one, which you probably don't know, is Roseanne.
Yeah, Simon.
don't know that
I
movie.
knew that you were going to say.
Okay, because
Roseanne.
this one's amazing. Because the entire last season, she won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's them on their antics winning the lottery, having
They're
all this
rich.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is one of the most unwatchable things.
I don't even remember that.
Atrociously
That was
bad.
the last season.
I don't
It
think
is
I've seen
so
the last
bad.
season.
It's terrible.
It is so bad. But the last episode is her writing a book, and she's finishing it, and she goes, this is, basically, she's writing the epilogue of the book. She's finishing it up. And she goes, yeah, this last chapter is kind of wishful thinking. And she goes, really what happened is my husband died because he had a heart attack the season before.
Yeah.
And it's like, and all these things happen. I've had money troubles and all
Well-
this stuff, and I just wanted something a little bit more optimistic.
I don't know if you know the situation with that one too, because I talked
that?
about the situation with the other one with Roseanne. What happened?
Okay.
What happened is she got ousted as a writer on the show.
Mm-hmm.
They took the show from her during the last season, and that's where this lottery thing came in because the show jumped the shark because she wasn't involved in it anymore, and they were basically like, we're taking this show, we're going to write it.
The ratings were in the tank.
And it was and that's, I mean, it was already in the tank, and then it went even worse because no one liked that. The lottery thing completely destroys the show. It doesn't even make sense anymore.
No John Goodman either, so.
No, he was in the lottery.
It because
I was?
Yeah, he was in it. But what happened in the last episode is they said Roseanne can write the last episode. Same thing
That's
with Larry
right.
David.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the reason that it was written like that is because Roseanne was so pissed at them that she completely wrote out all the shit in the last season as non-canon.
I've heard about this.
What happened is John Goodman's character died. The two kids, you know how they both had their couples.
Oh yeah.
In the last episode, you find out that actually the kids were with each other. Like, the girl was with the other guy, and that other guy was with the other girl.
Right.
And the biggest one, just as the final fuck you to him, she said, and also my sister Becky on the show, I think her name is. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's a lesbian also. Yeah. And so she just completely destroyed the last season of the show on purpose, just to get back at him.
So yeah, even though that's a great ending, kind of has other issues with it.
It's funny.
Breaking Bad's a big show for me. Like, I really hope they end that well, because it's really the only show right now that I'm really thinking about the ending for right now. And it's like,
something crazy is going to happen too.
Right. I hope they get right, but just not a good track record with TV series finales. Just for the most part, they're pretty.
Well, I think they have a better chance. What is going to be Breaking Bad's 5th season? When they have like less than 7 seasons, you have a much better chance of being something good.
Yeah, and that's actually the
because. What I always say is when you're watching like a comedy series or any series and random characters that once you're getting like 4th and 5th season, once random characters start getting romantically involved, that's when they don't know what to write about anymore.
Yeah.
That's how I always feel.
I think it's also that a lot of these series start with a very specific idea of what they want to happen, and as the series goes down, they use up those ideas, and they're like, well, what the fuck are we going to do?
Chandler and Monica gotta get together now. Now, Joey and Rachel get together now. So, whatever.
Yeah, well, I think that
chairs.
It's funny that you actually mentioned Cowboy Bebop earlier, because, I mean, you rarely mention anime for good reason, because most anime is terrible.
That's the best one.
What I will say, that's not the point though. The thing is that, the problem I have with a lot of TV series endings, and the reason that it works in anime, I think a lot of them have better endings than TV series do, and it's
usually
because they have limited runs. They know that they're doing 26 episodes, and that is the show. And then sometimes they'll go, well, that did really well. Let's do another run. But usually,
it's so bad
the second run's almost always awful.
Yeah.
But when you watch it and when it's self-contained, usually the story ends on a much more interesting note than when you go.
Because they can plan it all out.
Unless they run
It's like a miniseries, which they know it's going to end.
Yeah, and miniseries have the same thing too. They tend to end much better because they are self-contained stories that are already, the ending's already planned to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think of miniseries as TV series. That's why I didn't really bring it up.
No, they're separate.
Yeah, they're different.
They're more like series
Long
of short movies.
Yeah.
And then we were mentioning Saint Elsewhere. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the ending. This show is a show about a hospital. It's more like character based than it is like hospital procedural based. But basically, the end of the show, all the characters are not their characters anymore, and you're like, what's going on? And you find out that this kid who was in the show, it was actually like this one of the characters' kids. He is an autistic kid, and the whole show was his dream. His like autistic fantasy that he made up in his head.
And it was inspired by a snow globe, right?
Yes.
Because the hospital was in the snow globe.
Yeah, it
really is Rosebud. It's exactly. Yeah, it's super weird.
It's a famous ending because it's so like. It trivializes the show though. It's like, so this autistic thing.
It's already a show. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's your segment.
Yeah. So I want to talk about movies.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about movies real quick.
Hunger Games still number 1, making tons of money.
Who cares?
Titanic plummeted.
Yeah.
I did not mean his pun. I fucking did not mean his pun. But anyways, we were one of the very few groups of people.
Meaning me and Mike.
Yeah, Alex and I watched Titanic 3D. Now, first I want to say
IMAX 3D, sort of fake IMAX.
So Ellie wanted to see it. And I did not. Kate. So I said, you pay for it and I will see it. Also, I want alcohol. And she did both. For 2 tickets, it cost $30. Let's keep that in perspective. Now,
the alcohol,
Oh yeah, that was $12.
So she spent $42.
$42
watch Titanic in 3D.
Hey, James Cameron needs to dive in his fucking submarine.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of that. So I will say, it's the first time I saw it since probably a year after it came out.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since
Did not really remember the movie that
I haven't
well.
seen it since it came out in theaters. I don't remember anything.
It's not that bad. It's whatever.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's better than I remembered.
But
Yeah. There's always a but.
it is a shining example of James Cameron's screenwriting. And if you want to know how to not write screenplays, watch James Cameron's movies. Because holy fuck, people are exposition bombs all over the place.
Yeah.
Just,
But if you want to know how to film a movie, watch that shit.
yeah, it looks
Holy
great.
fuck.
Looks great.
Oh, yeah.
And I
The
will
sets, the cinematography, they're all amazing in that movie.
for instance, a scene. One scene I want to point out. Kate Winslet is walking with one of the architects of the boat.
First of all, Kate Winslet's character is pretty stupid.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb.
She's supposed to be, though.
Yeah, no, she is.
She's 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, yeah, she's just a debutante. Anyways, so walking with the guy who helped design the boat, and she goes, "Oh, so there's a lot of these rescue boats."
No, she said, I mathematically went and checked that there's only like half as many rescue boats as there are people in it, or something like that.
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, I wanted more. I actually had more room, but they didn't want the floors so covered, cluttered."
And then Billy Zane's like, it's the unsinkable ship. We don't need them.
knock, knock, foreshadow. Like, it's like, what is... The worst thing, too...
It's like someone took a creative writing class, and that was like a bullet point. It's like, you should foreshadow events.
Yeah, and then
it's like Chekhov's gun out
James
there. It's
Cameron
like-
does that in every single one of his
and I think
movies.
the only time he gets away with it is with Terminator 2, and it's because they're robots. It makes sense.
Well,
because they're robots.
The only other reason it's Terminator 2 is because they're from the future.
So they already
it makes
know.
sense that they would foreshadow because they'd be
that's
like,
true.
I already
That's
know
true,
what the
too.
fuck
That's a
happens,
great point.
dude.
Yeah.
Where that plot works well with that trope there because you can
They're
do
from
that.
the future, yeah.
Yeah,
It's allowed.
but yes, I agree. He does that in every movie.
Yeah, the writing...
He had some fucking sappy ass lines.
Yes,
too.
he does.
When they found her and Kate Winslet are running away from some cop guy. They get into a car. She gets in the back seat and he gets in the front seat. He's like, "Where to, my lady?" And she goes, "To the stars." And they fuck right after.
So ridiculous.
Aw,
terrible.
I just went,
Also, that movie won Best Musical Score. James Horner did it, and
Yeah.
You mean Celine Dion did it?
no, he wrote that.
Because that song was written. Oh.
Dude, it's fucking fun. That song is so inappropriate when they play it. I think the score is terrible. It's like
I don't remember.
It's like it's just like hey, he's gonna drown. It's like what? Oh.
I don't remember the score very well.
They played that song
You're right. It
6
probably means it
times.
sucked because I don't
It's
remember
not
it.
good.
The 3D wasn't that bad, though.
The 3D wasn't bad, and that was actually the thing I was most interested in. 3D wasn't that bad,
But they didn't
it
use
wasn't
it that much.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of it. It was. I think he did the right thing, making it look better than more Z-axis fun.
Right.
I will say it's 100 times better than Avatar. 100 times. Watching
it's
that
good.
the second time versus watching Avatar the second time, totally different. You can sit through Titanic and not be that annoyed. There's just moments where you're like, oh! but otherwise you're like, okay, whatever.
That's the whole movie with Avatar. That movie is stupid as hell.
Dude, it's fucking dumb. And, I will say, though, the best part of the entire movie was seeing the Prometheus trailer.
Yep, that trailer was fucking badass.
I'm going to see that first day. I'm going to pay
gonna see it in
probably
3D.
$30 to see that fucking stupid movie. It better be fucking good.
Yeah, I'm definitely
$30.
gonna- It looks
Ridley
awesome.
Scott's doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he's less good.
He's
There's some
usually
decent
less
actors,
good,
though.
if you ask me. But
There's some decent
He's never
actors.
real
So.
bad, though.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
He's just I
Hey,
think
we're talking
way
about that. You
overrated.
didn't see the new Robin Hood movie?
Oh, boring. I did see it. I did see it. It's pretty boring.
All right.
It's not that good.
Okay, so we're going to move on to top 5. I think we have a bonus, Mike.
Yeah, I actually found this while while Alex was finishing up a segment. Here's the title. Did not change it. Study says the more Walmarts in the area, the more hate groups there are.
This is entirely correlation.
That's an
We
Onion
just thought it was
article?
funny.
No,
Well,
this is
this-
from the Consumerist. It was a study done by Penn State, Michigan State University, and third university, I can't remember, but very reputable universities.
Yeah, like...
And they found that there tends to be, well, I'll get his quote because his quote's the biggest show quote. Walmart has clearly done good things in these communities.
Like
especially
take local jobs.
especially in terms of lowering prices, said Stephen Goitz, a Penn State University professor who also serves as director of the Northeast Regional Center for Rural Development. But there may be indirect costs that are not as obvious as other effects. So,
well, you said you had a differing opinion from me, because the thing that I said is that it has nothing to do with Walmart's being in the area. It has to do with that area being a piece of shit with a bunch of poor people. Then Walmart show up there because those are the people who buy stuff at Walmart.
Very good theory. I think that actually Walmart causes the hate groups because we were just there the other day. You had to buy something. When you go in there, you can never find what you need, and it makes you angry.
And so all these people in the way.
Hate and
There's
anger.
like soap bars in the middle of the aisles. I hate that middle of the aisle shit.
But then there's a euphoria feeling when you find the thing you need and it's $10.
But then, you
have to go in the line.
Register.
You have to go in line.
Yeah.
True.
Then there's 40 registers and only 2 of them are open.
I gotta say, when we went to Walmart, but the thing I was actually buying was to go camping. I was buying a small fold-out chair, one of those little felt chairs, with cloth chairs.
I know where you can steal one.
And I'm sure, but I found them finally, and they were in this basket in the middle of the aisle, and they had 2 of them. There was one, it was $9.99, and there was one right next to it in the same basket, like with a divider. And it was the same thing, except it had a Transformers picture on it. And it was 30,
there was one other thing. It could handle 50 more pounds.
Okay, so that actually might be. It was $34.99.
Wow. Which Transformer was on it?
I don't remember, but
one.
I know it had a Decepticon logo.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay, moving on to the top 5, the real top 5. Number 5, Bush wishes his name wasn't attached to tax cuts.
Okay, so
This is from CNN Money.
maybe you shouldn't have done them.
Yeah. Famous Bush tax cuts. He was talking at the New York Historical Society. I don't know why.
Yeah,
What history does he know?
Yeah.
He never had been to Europe before he was president. I mean, guy doesn't really care about history all that much, I don't think.
Hitler wished his name wasn't attached to killing Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? What?
It's a signature piece of this is like what he's going to be known for. Like then after 9/11 and his tax cuts, there's like his legacy.
Let me read this quote. This is his quote. I wish they weren't called the Bush tax cuts. If they were called someone else's tax cuts, they'd be less likely to be raised. So basically, this is great. This is great.
You know what, though?
He's
I
kind of true.
understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's making a good point.
Yeah, it is.
He knows his name is shit now.
Yeah.
He knows that. You think he's...
Through whose fault is that, though?
I'm not saying it's not his fault, but I'm saying Bush is not a smart man, but he's not an idiot. He was still the president.
Yeah.
He knows that no one really likes him now. He's right. He's right about that.
Yeah, I think he's right about it. I think people would still be highly critical of the tax cuts. Actually, I think they would have already been repealed if his name wasn't on them.
Why do you say that?
Because it wouldn't have been a partisan thing. It would have just been the tax cuts. It would have been the 2000 modernization tax cuts.
Could be right.
Act.
You could be right about that.
And it wouldn't have been a partisan thing. It would have just been like, well, it's going to get passed now.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree, but that's definitely a good point.
I think it's more likely, at least.
It's possible. Yeah.
I think a lot of the GOP kind of rallies behind it because it was their push for it, and that's the reason.
Dude, it helped our economy. Unemployment didn't go down at all.
The stock market
revenues
stabilized.
went down. Yeah, you did a good job.
Okay.
Moving on. Number 4, $1 off gasoline. I think this is you, Ben.
Yeah, well, this isn't me. I just have the clip.
Oh.
But basically, I'll let it speak for itself. Essentially, where was this?
Someplace in Texas, wasn't it?
It might have been. I don't know. I'll just play the clip, and then, we can talk about it.
I can look it up.
Well, today we're doing what we call Operation Bless Our City. It's an event where our church has set aside close to $10,000 to just be a blessing to our city. We're taking $1 off. So gas was originally $4.37 for unleaded. Now it's $3.37 for unleaded. So that's what we're doing here today. You can see the people are excited. They want to come out and get their gas filled up.
This is great, and thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. So essentially, what happened? Where is this?
Let's see.
Okay.
Shit,
Well, anyway,
sorry.
wherever this is, this church
Hell.
basically pooled a bunch of money.
From where?
I'm assuming from the
No, it's from the church. It's from the fucking church. And they gave it to Shell Gas Corporation.
Yes, they gave it to Shell in order to make it so that in the community for one day could have gas $1 less.
So my question is, the church had the money. The church runs on.
They could have just gave it to people that needed the money.
By the way,
Or
this
charities.
is a complete tax violation. Totally, you're getting charity money and you're paying it
if
into
it's
a
charity-
sales tax situation. It's no.
But if it's this is the thing though. People, I'm assuming the church got its money from donations from its constituents.
Yes, from them.
And so they
that's
went
what's great about
and
it.
then got the dollar up, but they're still
Yes.
paying for it.
Well, the other thing I like is that you instantly go to something about taxes when the reality is there's something much dumber
Yes.
put here, which is that they showed people more beyond the video. I mean, they talked about some people, like one woman waited for 6 hours.
Oh my god!
To get
6 hours.
To get $6.
No, because here's the thing. Here's what I said. I did math and to
No, don't do that. Why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, I
it's
know,
$1
it's
off.
stupid.
$1.
Yeah, it's a whole $1. I know. I did some math. I said, okay, look, most of the largest SUVs
Like
usually
25 gallons.
It's about 25 to 30. So
Yeah.
we'll say 30. We'll
Okay.
say this woman has a giant SUV.
30
gallons.
gallons? Okay, that's-
Yeah,
That's high, but-
huge.
Like a dually.
But they do exist, 30-gallon tank. It's rare, but we'll say this woman has the biggest SUV with a 30-gallon tank, and it's completely empty. Like it's like threading past
She pushed
E.
it in. Actually,
Yeah.
it ran out of gas while she was waiting for gas.
So she
She had the AC on.
Yeah.
she saved 30
bucks.
gallons.
$30.
So she was in line for like hours and hours.
6 hours.
We'll say 6 hours. So really, she was making like $5 an hour is what she was saving, which is less than she could have made just going
At a
and
minimum wage job.
That's like-
working at
That's
McDonald's.
like that video on YouTube where Popeyes ran out of chicken and people drove to other Popeyes in other cities
Yeah,
to
just eat
get
something
$1 off
This is
chicken.
worse though because there's a fucking church doing donations by giving money to a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
And they paid for that anyway.
Insane.
Those people,
and it doesn't even help them.
yeah, and those, like Ryan said, those people paid for those offerings, so
Yeah, that's
they're
even
paying for the
funnier,
gas
too.
anyway.
They could have
That's
given
the
the
best
money.
part.
They could have given the money to like the homeless or the hungry or like needy children or something. They said they gave it to these assholes with SUVs.
Could have given it to me.
Okay, we gotta move on before we have an aneurysm here. Yeah, because this one isn't any less rage-inducing. Verizon that charged $30 to upgrade your phone.
To what?
Just to upgrade it. Like if
Just
I have an
upgrade
old
it.
phone, you have to upgrade at the end of your
What
term.
if I have a phone that's broken?
Probably.
And,
Yeah. Probably going to charge you
From
for
the
that.
article
Yep,
here, on
no
April
matter what.
22nd, Verizon Wireless will
Yep.
institute a $30 upgrade fee for existing customers who purchase new phones with a 2-year contract.
It doesn't matter whether your phone is working, whether your phone's broken, whether you're replacing the phone, upgrading. Doesn't
Well,
matter.
okay,
you will
so
always
no.
get charged $30.
So, like, I have a $600 phone, it breaks. I get the same phone again, and I have insurance. I pay the $150 insurance, so I pay another $30.
I think
it's only for upgrades,
It's only for
I
new
think.
phone upgrades. So, for example, my phone's old. Say I want a new phone.
They have like 2 years to get $200 off, and now it's minus 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brenda Rainey, spokeswoman
Why?
for Verizon Wireless. I will tell you, Brenda Rainey will answer for you. She's her PR friend here. This fee will help us continue to provide customers with the level of service and support they have come to expect. Poor
We need
support?
more money
Yeah,
to
that's
not
what
pay
I said.
taxes.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Me and Ryan both
Said
sent
the
the
same
same thing to each other at the same time. It was that quote, and I was like, "What's the shittiest support possible? Is that the support you're talking about? You want to maintain the worst support you can
Okay,
give."
let me tell you. Let's talk about the process of upgrading a phone. There's a salesperson on one end. He's paid by commission, so you don't need an upgrade fee for him.
Right.
He's already getting paid, right?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the stock here. April 11th, the story went out. Their stock went up about 40 cents.
Oh, cool.
Just straight up.
That's great.
Of course.
Nice.
So, totally made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
Anyways, no. So the salesperson, don't need to pay him. Manager, they're paid by commission too. Don't need to pay them. So now all you have to do is send that into a system, right? Into a sales system.
Well, they got to pay
So let's
taxes.
go to-
Oh, wait, they don't pay any taxes.
Right. They don't pay any taxes. So then the CRM has to take the old ID and replace it with the new phone ID. That's it.
Yeah, well,
$30.
The guy at the store does that.
That's
The guy at the store does
No,
that.
no,
Or you
it
do it
goes
yourself.
into this.
No,
No,
it
the
is-
CRM. The CRM, it costs pennies No,
well, this
pennies.
is what I said.
Fractions
it
of a
costs
penny.
less than a penny. What I said to you, it's the exact same thing I said to you, which it's a $30 press button fee. That's what it is. It's a $30 fee that they can act like they're doing something different when they're really not. It takes them 1 second to do it.
Yeah.
All they do is copy something and paste it into another window. That's all they do.
So here's the good news. Congratulations, Sprint and AT&T and T-Mobile users, because within a year you will also be paying the same fee because there's price.
Once one
fixing.
does it, the other one does it.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, it's like the tier
There's no
pricing
competition.
thing.
Yeah, but the difference is, you find this funny, when Bank of America says they're going to charge people $5 to use a debit card, everyone freaks out and they take it back. When Verizon says this, no one knows about it. You even hear about it?
No.
Oh, barely.
Well, I didn't hear. I don't know about anything, so
barely.
don't look at me.
It was sent to me. I wouldn't have known about it. No one hears about it. Why is it that Verizon can get away with something like this, which is insane?
I think it's price fixing.
Well, it is price fixing, but the banks do it too with these fees and shit.
Moving on, number 2. I think you like this.
Yeah, this
yours.
is your thing,
Yeah.
so you're going to
Argentina, grieving parents find baby alive in morgue.
So essentially,
I heard about this.
Essentially, a baby died.
How is this not number one?
A baby was given birth to the child, and the child was declared stillborn.
Yes, it was declared stillborn, exactly,
and so
they put it in its little baby coffin or whatever. You know, it was in the morgue, in the not the coffin, but the container.
For how many
thing.
hours?
And they
For a
pull
day,
it
I
out.
think.
They pull it out to basically so the parents can say goodbye to the baby. They pull it out, and the baby was alive. It was living.
Is it still alive now?
Yes,
apparently,
it lived. And of course the mom goes, "It's a miracle." That's not a miracle.
No,
That's called being
incompetence in a malpractice lawsuit.
Completely incompetent. So what I did is I made a little list of what movies have shown me ways to tell that your baby's alive or dead.
Okay, cool.
So it's real
I'm
simple.
excited for this.
One, is your baby Sean Bean? He's probably dead. If he's not dead, if he's not dead, he will be soon. So don't even don't worry about it.
normally within the first third of the movie.
Yeah. 2, is your baby the baby from Baby's Day Out?
Yeah. No,
because if
he's
so,
never
then
dead.
he won't.
He can't
He's
die.
not dead.
No,
'cause
he's
he can't
fall
die.
hundreds of feet.
He's already immortal.
He's
a
like
Highlander.
Achilles at this point.
He's a Highlander baby.
Another one, has your baby ever drank from the fountain in Tuck Everlasting? Because then the baby's also probably not dead, because he can last a long time,
Everlasting.
Yeah, he's immortal.
Oh.
And then the last one is, within the past day, did you feed your baby any green Jell-O? And the reason this is important is because the guy in Weekend at Bernie's 2, when the Mobu fed him the green Jell-O, he only had till sundown. So if it was yesterday, then the baby probably died before sundown. You didn't know.
You forgot one. If Tom Selleck and Ted Danson and Steve Gutenberg are helping raise you, you're probably dead too. But just your career.
At least set it aside.
I was gonna say if your baby's Christopher Reeves and orbits a red star, but
Well, that would work too. See, that could be it.
yeah. Anyway, number 1,
Babies.
Facebook loves Instagram so much it's buying the company for $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
I gotta say,
don't know
if
that
you don't know what
company is.
Instagram is, you take a picture on it's an app for your phone. You take a picture, and then you can put like a sepia filter or negative image.
Yeah, there's like 10 filters.
And
then-
a comment.
It's like quick Photoshop or something.
caption.
Yeah.
You can add a caption, and then it goes up. On
It's
the
awesome
website.
because it's not Flickr. Oh wait, it is, except with filters.
Filters. And it's on your phone.
It's the same thing.
This is-
Flickr is on phones.
It enrages me so much because this app is nothing. This is a
It's not
nothing
anything.
app,
Why are
and
you
it's getting
guys
bought for
pissed?
$1 billion.
But, okay, so here's why I thought this should be number 1. Because here's this app with literally no business model. There's no ads. There's no way to make
So
money
what?
with
Who cares?
it. Nothing.
Facebook bought it. What?
Well,
I don't
I
understand
think-
what's a big deal.
I think you're right and you're wrong. I think I agree with you.
There's 50 million eyeballs. That's the set.
Well, that's a big thing, but
It is big.
The real reason I think is because Facebook goes, "Hey, look, our mobile app kind of sucks." And
It
by the way,
does.
people always talk about how Facebook's app is pretty decent. It is not. It
No,
sucks.
it's slow.
It never works right. And they go, "Well, they have this app already that handles pictures well." I will say this: I've seen people use Instagram. It does work fine. It works.
It's not great on Android. I
haven't used it on
messed
Android.
around
I've-
with it for
I've
like
s-
2 minutes.
I've seen it on
erased
iOS,
it.
but I don't
Yeah.
know. So they take this app and they probably go, well, why would we develop this shit when we can just buy someone else, make them do it for us, and integrate it in our app? And that's why they're doing it.
It's funny you said there's no business model. That was the business model. The business model was to get people on and sell it to Facebook.
Yes.
That was their entire.
I don't see why this is
exactly
enraging to you guys.
It's the same
Who
thing
cares? Facebook bought something for paid too much money. Okay, they're done.
For me, I think that this is the signs that we're going into another tech bubble.
Yeah.
And it's going to destroy our fucking economy. Because this is a company of 10 people. 10 people just sold their company for $1 billion. There's some fucking receptionist there that probably gets a profit share. She's a multimillionaire now. She was answering the phones. That bitch is now a multimillionaire for making a... She didn't even make anything.
It's like
just
you said,
someone else did.
It's a tech bubble thing. And like Facebook has a great idea and it has a lot of people, but I think, like you said, it's an over market share. Like their IPO is what? How many hundreds of dollars?
They're saying it's going to be $100 billion.
Yeah.
Which... You know, they're pulling $3-4 billion in revenue a year. They're doing.
It's still
they're actually making money.
They're misreporting though.
Well, yeah,
because they're a tech company.
But
it's like every tech company misreports.
And the other thing that's enraging about this is last week, analysts valued Instagram at $500 million.
So they made double.
Why were they valued? Because they have 50 million users. That's a lot of users. Yeah, but you have no way of monetizing. Like it's not like
so.
Facebook,
All it is just a really quick
something.
Photoshop that's an app on a phone.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and there's easy ways to share it.
Which, by the way, existed long before that ever came out.
They just happened to be the ones that
they just have good
it
photo
just got
filters.
big. Yeah.
That's
the other thing too. I got to say, the problem I have with the whole situation isn't even anything to do with Facebook buying it. It's actually that Instagram users are probably the biggest group of fucking whiny pussy babies.
Instagram, so.
Because we saw a thing before where it was talking about when Instagram was ported to Android.
Yeah, it was iPhone.
It was
only.
iPhone only for a long time. It was actually just within the past few months that it came out on Android.
No, it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was delayed almost a year because their company's 10 people.
Yeah, that's why.
They have delays.
They had to find someone who knew.
They ported it to Android, and the whole site was just full of people using Instagram talking about how it went from being so cool to being shitty in a day because now Android users.
Yeah, one guy goes, well, great, now it's Section 8 housing in here.
It went
it's like,
from
well, it made it into a racist thing somehow. Like classist.
Hate iPhone users.
These are the type of people, exactly. It's not that people who have iPhones are the problem.
People are dumb.
It's not people who have iPhones that are the problem. It's the people who love iPhones that are the problem.
It's a fucking phone. Stop paying attention to it.
Why would you want your product to be more limited? Oh, I can't communicate the same Android users. Oh, now I can't. Fuck you. I don't want that.
It's a hipster thought. They're more cool because they have more stuff.
It is a hipster thing. I saw it before you.
It's their exclusive
I knew it was
club.
cool before you knew it was cool.
So what do you think's the next ridiculous acquisition? Do you think I Can't Has Cheeseburger is going to be valued at $350 million? Or
they go public.
Dude, that sounds retarded.
Actually,
they make money.
Actually, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
No, those e-card thing is going to make a lot of money soon.
Oh, yeah.
They probably have
all over the place now.
They have better marketing than Instagram, actually, because they make a ton of money and they just post cats.
Oh, no's, join our IPOs.
God fucking damn it.
That's a way to end it.
Okay, we're done with this episode. Thanks for listening again. This was episode 47, I think, the 46 of the Tipping 40's podcast. Again, if you want to leave us a message about whatever Mike just said, it's at podcast@tipping40s.com. Or leave a voicemail at 218-666-8407. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity.